Hey there, everybody!
Seb's here.
Seb, Stevie, Shaka, Jan, and Arabo here for Extra Time. I'm hustling across the studio here to get the questions. Yes.
Seb, you know that immaculate barnet you've got?
Yeah, the little swoosh.
You've got a few rogues going on.
Oh, really? Do I have the Superman, like the Clark Kent drop, you're saying?
Yeah, it's kind of.
Are you criticizing my hair over there?
Well, yours is always perfect to the front.
What's all right? Let's get can we get camera 3? Can we get a little set close up here? I think over here, yeah, you know.
Look at Jan's.
Yeah, the hair gel budget has been a little bit low recently. Yeah, sorry about that. Tough times in the kingdom. Let's get to it.
On it.
Yeah. For Robbo, what are some things Real Madrid can do tactically to improve their attack? Of course, we did see him kind of get it going just before the international break, but some struggles early this season.
Yeah, they struggled early on in the season because I'm not sure that Mbappe quite knew where he was going to get the most out of himself. I saw a couple of games where he dropped that little bit deeper and then arrived in the box at the right time. There's going to be a lot of rotation. I don't think Ancelotti's going to do too much to change things tactically. I think he accepts that the players that he's got in the front areas are all experienced players. They're all very good players and great talented players, and they've got to have an understanding about where they roam and where they go. And of course, they've got Bellingham to come in as well, who's going to take up other people's position. So I don't think he's going to change anything tactically. He's going to the players roam around the field, find spaces, fill in for each other, and I'm sure they will be very successful.
Do you know, sometimes coaching is not the exotic thing people think it is. Mm-hmm. And this is a great example. You got Real Madrid with Rodrigo, Mbappe, and you got Vinny, right? And in so many occasions, the three of them end up in the same place. And the coaching line is not something poetic. It's, if somebody's there already, go somewhere else. That's it.
Easy.
That's coaching.
Easy.
Right? None of your lovely poetry and coaching and A's and B's and C's. Right. Just if somebody's there, he's already there, Mbappe, go somewhere else. There you go. That's a bit of coaching for you.
That's brilliant coaching. I believe we do have my ISO cam sorted here, so Stevie, you can critique the hair that you didn't like.
You fixed it.
Yeah, I fixed it. Look at that coif. Look at that coif. You love it.
Wow.
All right.
That is a hair and a look for me. Back in the dynasty. That is for me. Blake Carrington. That is Linda Evans. That is Everett.
That is a very outdated reference.
I knew exactly what he was talking about.
I bet you did. I bet you did over there, blonde ambition.
So does Robbo. So there's 3 against 2.
Right.
It was you two that's
I've got to say, Stevie, it needs a bit of a ruffle. It's too immaculate. You've got to give it a bit of a ruffle.
Get in there. Give it a little bit of ruffle. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. How's that looking?
I told you the story with it. Rob, what was the old Norwich goalkeeper who had the perfect black hair like that?
That's right.
Kevin Keelan.
Kevin Keelan. I told you the story when he...
Kevin Keelan, yeah, right.
When he was playing over here in the US, in Boston, there was a wee Irish guy who used to play for Man United, Rob, you need to help me again. Wee skinny guy.
Great story, Stevie.
Central midfield.
I know you're talking about the McElroy.
Sammy McElroy.
Anyway, so what happened was Keelan, hair's always immaculate, but it was 24 hours a day. So they were on the bus going to training one day, and Keelan sat in the chair, and the wee Irish guy sat behind him, who we can't remember, and he rubs his hair. So Keelan turns around and says, "Don't do that again." So of course he did it again.
Of course.
And Keelan said, "If you do that again, I'm going to smash you right in the face." Right? So what did he do?
He did it again. Yeah.
He turned around and he hit him so hard he broke his jaw.
Oh
no!
He turned around and I broke his jaw on the bus on the way to training.
Look, I am very particular about my hair, but I'm not violent about it.
His name's Kevin Keelan. Go on and look him up. Honestly, you'll see the hair.
They're good old days. They're good old days.
Yeah, so you could just assault somebody.
Goalkeepers, never good.
That's true. Don't mess with a man who doesn't want his hair messed with. Guys, did you ever get to meet your childhood soccer hero? Yeah, I work with him every day. If so, who was it, and what did you say to him? Anybody?
No.
I feel like you through your FIFA stuff, you probably met some.
No, nothing to do with FIFA. My childhood hero was Mario Kempes.
Oh yeah.
And 1978, I'm 9 years old. It's my first real recollection of the World Cup in Argentina. Kempes wins it. He's the leading scorer, best everything. And then I show up here at ESPN, and Mario Kempes is just chilling in the halls. But for those of you who know Mario, Mario's English isn't very good. My Spanish is fairly so. My Spanish, I can't speak any Spanish. So I just kind of stood there, which is perfect for me, because what do you say?
Right.
What do you say to Mario Kempes?
Yeah.
I am totally in awe. And, you know, he just say, hello, welcome. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
It just goes on. But then, saying that, I have to say this. The more you get to know Mario, I don't think I've ever met a more down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
Given his accomplishments in the game,
Big Popeyes fan.
he is just so. He's just so ordinary.
No, the chicken.
Oh, shit. I can't believe he died. I can't believe he fell for that.
No, I remember, Shaka, one of my first days here, like walking through the buildings and seeing just a cubicle with Mario Kempes like name on it, and just like literally stopping in my tracks, being like, "Really?
Yeah,
really?"
and he's just the most down-to-earth person you could
Not like
ever
Craig
hope to
Burley, who
meet.
gets his own office.
Oh,
These guys that are just, you know.
You try messing up Craig's here.
Yeah, go ahead, Jan.
Yeah, I've just had the same with. I grew up supporting Leeds United. It was Billy Bremner for one reason. I never met Billy. He died far too early, of course. But Kevin Keegan in my generation, Kevin Keegan in the 70s, he was the superstar. He was a Mickey Mouse. He was everything. He was fantastic. And there is one place in Oslo that every player knows, Smuge. Stephen Nicol has probably been there so many times. It's a place in Oslo. You went there after the game, and I met Kevin Keegan. And the only thing, I love to speak, I love to socialize. The only thing I was thinking, Jan, you're talking to Kevin Keegan. Don't talk too long now. Just go away after a while. Because I wanted to sit with him all the time, talking about him. Then I met him later when he was at Newcastle. I was at Middlesbrough, and I met him, and I thought, how long can a Middlesbrough player stand there talking to Kevin Keegan? Because he was so influential of a generation. I think you have a lot of favorite players, you have a lot of role models, but there are these players that in your generation you think, wow, they are just the superstars. And thank God Kevin Keegan is one of those you can meet and think he's still a superstar.
I met George Best when I was a kid.
Wow, that's a big one.
When I was
You were still a kid, so it's even bigger then.
No. When I was a kid, I had a pair of George Best boots when I was at primary school. So between the ages
What
of
company were George Best boots?
Oh.
Like Adidas or what?
Well, I
was
don't know. I don't think it was any.
No,
I think it was his name. It was his name.
Best boots.
George Best.
Yeah.
And these boots are still hanging up. These boots are still in that primary school I went to. So I went there between the ages of 5 and 10.
As like a monument to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those boots are still in the
Don't
school.
laugh. That's
Yeah.
cool. I guess.
No, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
And I met him when I was playing with Liverpool. And I didn't know what to say to him.
You just froze up.
I just said hello.
Can you imagine Stevie
Didn't know
freezing
what to
up?
say.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't know what to say.
Really? Did you get a picture or something at least?
No.
No, you just didn't even get a pic. Didn't even think to get a picture.
Hello.
All right, next question here. Which national team has the most questions about their future at this moment? US, Brazil, Mexico, Belgium. I'll take out etc. and add England.
What? Why?
Well, because what's etc. going to do? Etc. doesn't do anything. I'll throw England in there because it's a country of import.
Why don't you just leave it with the 4?
Who has the most questions?
It's got to be Brazil, isn't it? It's got to be Brazil. Brazil's the most famous national team on the planet, without a shadow of a doubt. Every single person that has any idea of what football is knows what Brazil is. How many people in the world do you think are bothered about Belgium, by the way? Do you know what I mean?
It's or US or Mexico.
US. How many people outside the US do you think are
And
bothered
Brazil
about
is
US?
way off, is not only the best of this group by a lot, but also way off their normal best.
Aye.
Point, right?
But to that point, I think we were 2 years out for the World Cup. I think Brazil will qualify. Got 2 years. I think they've got 2 years to figure it out. They'll change their head coach and figure things out.
Bring Neymar back.
I'm not sure Mexico are within 2 years of kind of rekindling whatever they were before.
Okay. Do you think Brazil are within 2 years of it, though?
I do. I think come 2026.
I think Brazil's in for a bad World Cup, buddy.
Come 2026, Brazil will be all right.
Really?
I'm not going to say they're going to win the World Cup, but they're not going to be as disappointing as they were in the Copa America.
So
I think they have a better World Cup than they have a better Copa America.
Brazil can bounce back quicker than them did. They did it in 2000, if you remember.
Yeah.
They were shambles.
Yeah, but they were loaded shambles.
Like,
but Stevie, they were loaded with players and not playing well. This team is not loaded with players. We've had the discussion 30 times on this desk.
if there's any team that can turn it around, it's Brazil.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because it's quite interesting this night at ESPN because we started the show saying that USA can win the World Cup, and now we're saying Brazil can't win it. That is quite interesting. But I would say USA in the terms of, yes, there's a lot of questions around Mexico, there's a lot of questions around Brazil, the biggest football nation, and so on. But it's USA. I think it's quite interesting. First of all, with Pochettino coming in, but it's also interesting to see the expectations and all the showbiz, everything around having a World Cup at home soil. I was very fortunate to be a part of the '94 World Cup in USA. That was fantastic. This is going to be a great, great World Cup, but it will just be a great World Cup if USA will have a good team. So I think it's going to be very interesting to follow the development now that Pochettino finally is there. So I will go USA.
For Robbo.
I'm with it as well. USA.
Oh, okay. He says USA with the biggest questions. Man, we got a lot of doubters. Robbo, next question is for you. It is about England. Do you think Lee Carsley will be the England boss in the long term? If not, who do you think will be in charge at the World Cup? Also, if there's somebody you think should be in charge, you could drop their name in there as well.
What happened with Gareth Southgate is that he took over because Sam Allardyce got sacked because he was misbehaving, whatever he did. And Gareth Southgate had run the under-21s. And England at the moment have good players and are a decent side. And they're not going to lose too many games in the Nations League. They're not going to lose too many games in qualifying. So unless Lee Carsley does a really terrible job, which I don't think he will on the evidence of the first couple of games, England aren't going to lose too many games from now till he finishes his 8-game stint or 6-game stint. So I think he will still be the manager when that 6-game, 8-game stint is over, and he'll be the manager taking England into the World Cup.
Anybody else get the feeling that when Robbo mentioned Sam Allardyce, the ESPN lawyers were having a little bit of a fit for a moment?
Why do you suggest that?
Well, I'm just saying. Robbo backed away from Sam Allardyce, so he was a little bit naughty.
Very quickly.
He got out too well, Robbo.
Yeah.
Got out too well.
I can see the ESPN lawyers going, oh, no, don't, Robbo, don't.
He was dismissed. I'm not sure what he was dismissed for.
Leave it, Robbo.
We're moving on. We got through it well enough, Robbo. Let's just move on.
Leave it.
Let's be honest.
question.
It's Friday.
You know all about those things, Shaka. You know all about those things, having been a
That's the next question, Robbo. Sure.
What's that?
Sammy, that's the next question.
What's that, Herc? Elvis. Hey, you know what's great? If we all talk over each other, they can't hear what we said anyway. So it's beautiful. It's Friday. The lawyers are definitely not working, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right, I'm told this is the last question here, and it is back to the 2026 World Cup. Can y'all rank from most to least likely to make the World Cup? Trinidad, Scotland, Norway, and Venezuela.
Well, I think Trinidad's got the least chance, right, Chuck? Let's be honest.
We're all right.
Yeah.
I'll put Scotland as least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trinidad have got no chance. Scotland have got no chance.
Come on, we've got to qualify. And I'm saying that more in hope than in expectation.
So there's 3 automatic bids out of CONCACAF. There's 3 other bids that you can aim for, plus a 4th
playoffs, right?
Playoff.
And no USA, no Mexico, no Canada.
Right. So you think Trinidad is within the top 3?
We've got to qualify. Please. I don't want to answer this question.
But then, Shaka, what
I'm
if they
stressed.
don't qualify for a 48-team World Cup? It makes your achievements even more impressive.
Listen, that's no consolation.
You have too small.
We got to qualify.
You don't have enough ego.
We got to qualify.
Okay, so it seems clear Scotland and Venezuela are Scotland and Trinidad are at the bottom of this pile. Who's the most likely? Who do you
Venezuela.
No, hold on a second. Venezuela have never, ever in the history of history qualified for a World Cup.
Venezuela.
So how?
Venezuela, like what?
So
Fourth or fifth now?
how are they ahead of Scotland when it comes to
Because
qualification?
there's 6 coming out to
We're not
CONMEBOL.
doing it based on history. We're doing it based on the current reality.
There's 6 teams
so
coming out to
current reality
CONMEBOL.
is they've had half a dozen decent games for the first time in how long? 4,000 years.
But the point is...
Scotland's just qualified for 2 major tournaments.
Did he just say 4?
Just to make sure you got... just making the point. Can you sell a shit?
Jan, what about Norway? Are Norway going to be here in 2026 like you guys were here in '94?
Shall I do this with passion or shall I do this with math? I can start with math. Is that when every nation in Europe qualified for Euro, except Norway, Sweden, Greenland, and the Vatican, there is no. And now there's only 16 teams from Europe coming to the World Cup. It's tough. But then again, if you have a look at the talents we have available, we should have a chance. I'm not sure about 4,000 years ago. I know Stevie Nicol lived at that time, but I think that it would be more likely than Venezuela and I can't say Trinidad because Moreno, is he around as well? Is he under the table somewhere?
He's gone.
He's okay.
He's gone.
He won't get you.
I'll support Venezuela, yeah? Go ahead, Leon.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying you have to. Trinidad, are you the same as Norway? Do you do math or do you do with passion, Shaka?
Neither.
Do you think?
We hope. We just hope.
Do you think they're better than Jamaica?
Who?
Trinidad.
No.
Do you think they're better than Costa Rica?
No.
Do you think they're better than Panama?
No.
Well, I mean,
There you go.
it's getting pretty dicey there.
Right. I know. I know. We just lost 4-0 to Honduras.
Okay.
What's wrong with
I told you
Honduras?
all to leave, I told you all to leave me out of this. I'm stressed now.
Yeah.
I told you all just leave me out.
All right, there we have it. So Norway, Venezuela, Scotland, and Trinidad as we hope to see all of them here in 2026.
Yeah,
That'll do it for this edition of Extra Time. Maybe we'll get Jan back in the United States. I actually watched Jan in Washington in 1994.
Do you have his boots?
Yeah.
He beat Mexico. He beat Mexico. But Mexico won the group, baby! Woohoo!
No, we won 1-0
Back
Norway.
tomorrow.
Come on, Norway.